came out and hit us in the mouth. And it took us a while to fight back. I thought we fought back at the start of the second quarter. They had about 5 points for the first 5 minutes, but we couldn't overcome that first quarter. You got to bring it the whole game, give credit to them. They got some good rhythm shots, which we probably didn't have enough pressure on. And then we had some turnovers that led to some easy baskets to them. So it was a little bit on both ends, yeah.
What can it be, if there is an answer to it, that if you go through the scouting report, you go through everything in the prep, and then that first quarter isn't where you want things to be? Is there something that can be tweaked with?
Yeah, I thought we had the competitive response, and I think you saw it in the second quarter. Like I just said, we held them to like 5 points for a long time. We just couldn't make a shot to kind of capitalize on that to really put us in. I mean, it was a 10-point game, and then they closed the quarter well also. So we just couldn't put enough stretches. But the guys were fighting. A lot of credit to the guys who came off the bench tonight: Rashawn, Jared, Anthony. Those guys came out and gave some great energy, some good fight. So happy for them.
Season high in turnovers, sub 40. So what went wrong on offense?
They're going to give them a little credit. They're a good defensive team. We probably played in crowds too much, and then we did miss some wide open shots, but we probably did force it too much, and that led to some of our turnovers.
Any updates on Corey, Malcolm, Keyshawn?
No updates, no.
How much, when you lose 3 guys very quickly, very succinctly, how much can that throw things off, especially for you with your rotations?
The one thing that's great about our guys is there's a lot of work behind the scenes. So Rich hasn't played much, but you can see all the work that Rich has done behind the scenes. He was ready to play. And he really gave us great contribution. Jared, AG were the same thing. So those guys have been training behind the scenes and not getting a lot of minutes. When their number is called, they stepped up and played well.
Brian, I call those opportunity minutes for guys like that, and for them to kind of come in and still compete. I know Will and Michael talked about bringing veterans in there that play like that, but that really has to say something about these guys when the game is out of hand like that and they're still competing.
Yeah, I've said this, we have really high character guys on our team. And that's revealing itself right now in these tough moments. Like, some guys are not always getting the chance to play, and those guys are doing all the things behind the scenes, practicing, keeping care of their bodies, working on their games. And then when their opportunity was called tonight, they stepped up and they helped us. They brought a physicality to the game. So not surprised. That's who those guys are.
With Corey, what does it say about his toughness that he suffers the injury, hits the 2 free throws, and then comes out of the game?
Corey's this is who Corey is. He's the ultimate professional, was not shocked or surprised. Hopefully he'll be okay.
We didn't take care of the ball as a team. Mental lapses, I guess.
On your terms in particular, with so much of the season being about growing, are there things that you noticed on those plays where you were like, okay, this is something I can correct moving forward?
Yeah, obviously. Like, you turn the ball over is never a good thing. So when it does happen, you recognize it and you learn from it.
BK mentioned the first quarter was kind of what gave them the momentum, kind of gave them the power, if you will, in a back and forth type of game.
Yeah.
Through the rest of the 3 quarters, it was quite even, quite competitive. What was it about the first quarter that you noticed from a second unit standpoint that just you guys weren't able to kind of find your footing until that second quarter?
Yeah, like I'm not going to blame it on anybody, but we didn't start the game well as a team. Like, people that were on the court and us that were on the bench, we weren't having a lot of energy. They didn't have a lot of energy. So overall, that's not going to help any basketball game. So, and in this league, everybody's too good to, have slow starts like that. It's going to be hard to fight back. So we dug ourselves a hole that we couldn't get out of.
Seeing Corey, Malcolm, Key go down, and then you guys continue the fight in the second half, what allowed you guys to mentally deal with the injuries? Be like, you know what, these guys need us. We got to do it for them. We got to fight back for them. And then continue to fight in that second half and make some headway in that second half with the way that you competed.
I mean, it's always just next man up, and especially when in a unique situation like this where they all happen in the game, you don't have no time to just oh man, it's literally go in. So next man up. We got a lot of guys here that are itching to play, itching to show what they can do. So I'm glad that they were able to do that.
7 defensive rebounds for you. How much pride do you take in being able to contribute on the defensive glass?
I take a lot of pride in it as using my size to our team's advantage. I think it'll help us a lot if we got a lot more guards rebounding.